guys, it's Kay here. Welcome to my channel. Today we are building what I am calling a modern suburban home, and I call it that because I feel like the shape is a bit more on the suburban side and the wallpaper and aesthetic is a little bit more modern. So you'll see that here when we get to the wallpaper. Well, I mean, I guess you saw it in the thumbnail, but you'll see it come together here when I put the wallpaper on. So I'm using this black brick wallpaper from the Bowling Stuff pack, I believe, and then the wooden wallpaper is from the Eco Lifestyle. And so I'm using more of these modern windows from the Moschino pack, as well as some windows from the Snowy Escape expansion pack, which I feel like have a very modern look to them. And so yeah, that's why I decided to call this a modern suburban, and I've been wanting to build something like this for a while, but as I had mentioned in one of my previous videos, I think it was my last video actually, the single mom home, that video came out to be quite longer than I typically like to post. So I do like to keep my builds under 15 minutes, which I did accomplish with this one, luckily, but yeah, it is a little bit on the smaller side. So I wouldn't necessarily say this is a good house for families. It is only 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So you definitely could have a small family in this house, or I mean, even a big family if you wanted to put like 2 Sims in each room. But I actually decorated it for a couple of best friends who I had imagined have not been friends very long, but the bond that they have is really deep. And so the story that I thought for them is really cute. I imagine that they had met at university and they really bonded over their love for reading, their love for books, and they like all of the same genres and styles of books and authors and whatnot. And so they really developed this deep friendship right off the bat, and they decided to get this house together. It is a little bit of a nice house, and it is quite expensive, so I don't know if it's like something they would be able to afford while they're going to school, but maybe they've already graduated and they are already working in their careers and they were able to save up enough money and just kind of pool their resources together and purchase this home. So yeah, that's just kind of the backstory I thought for them. And then the personalities of each. So I imagined, obviously they both love books, and then one of them is more into like crafty type, like arts and crafts. She loves knitting and she really loves plants and nature and things like that. And then the other one is really into animals, and so maybe she wanted to become a vet, and so that's what she was going to school for. And then the other one, I didn't really think of like what her career would be, but I did feel like she's a bit more professional, I guess, and the other one is a bit more like laid back and just kind of carefree. And I mean, she's obviously like focused on her career and achieving her goals, but she's just a little bit more like casual and laid back about it. So yeah, that's kind of the extent of the backstory that I thought about for the Sims who live in this house. But here we are just working on the kitchen, and I totally talked over the floor plan of this house. It did come together pretty easily. So the bottom floor is going to have the kitchen, dining room, living room, and 1 bathroom, and then upstairs will be the 2 bedrooms and another bathroom. And so I had a little bit of trouble decorating this house at first because when I first built the house, I wasn't really sure about the type of Sims that would live here. And so I started working on the kitchen because I feel like with more modern builds, those are a little bit easier for me to decorate. I feel like with modern kitchens, they're a bit more minimalist and simplistic. And then, of course, I wanted to use like the black and the white counters to make it look really sleek and updated, because as I had said, this is a modern suburban home. So I did imagine that this is like a remodeled kitchen. This isn't the original kitchen. It's not the original tiles or counters or appliances or anything like that. So it definitely has been upgraded, and it is kind of a funky shape too. So at first I had put counters all along the walls, but it was way too much. And like I said, I wanted this to have a bit more of a simplistic and like, minimalist style. So that's kind of the look I was going for. So I didn't use too much clutter on the shelves. I actually kept it more of like decorative clutter and not practical or like functional clutter. So just made it look really nice. I didn't imagine either of these Sims to be really big on cooking. I actually think maybe they prefer going out to eat. They really like going to fancy restaurants. And so the kitchen probably doesn't get used too much. If anything, they use the little office space over there on the right side where the computer is. And yeah, the kitchen kind of just remains really pristine and clean. And I was going to say maybe they like eat a lot of microwave food because they just don't really enjoy cooking, but I just realized I didn't put a microwave in the kitchen. So yeah, we can scrap that idea. But anyway, just working on the dining room now. And at this point, I still didn't have any idea of the type of Sims or family that would live in this house. So I was just kind of keeping it just some modern touches here and there. I used this shelf that comes with the Eco Lifestyle expansion pack and then just decorating it with some plants and candles and other things that I think are a little bit more on the fancy side. And then, of course, putting some books everywhere because these Sims do love to read, or imagine they really do love reading and books. And they just have this huge collection that they have collected over the years ever since they were young. So they just keep all of their books and they like to display them and yeah, just have them out for everybody to see. And so over here, we're just adding a little side table with some extra decorations, and I do put another Baby Yoda, as I do in a lot of my builds. And then that's about it for the dining room. I will be switching it up a little bit once we get to the living room, because the living room layout with all of the Moschino windows and then these two archways, it made the living room a little bit funky shaped, and I was having trouble figuring out where I wanted things to go in a way that would be functional. So yeah, we'll get to that in a second, but just using these really pretty couch and chair from Eco Lifestyle. And then here is where I realized there really isn't much space to add a TV. So I removed that archway. I didn't think it was necessary to have so many doorways into the dining room, especially when oh goodness, that was funky. Especially when I have that wide archway there in the front, and then there's like two archways that lead into the kitchen, either from the entryway and then another one from the dining room. So I didn't think it was necessary to have that third one, and it worked out really well. At first I was going to use this wall-mounted TV, but decided it stuck out a little bit too much and it just looked a little clunky, and so I thought it would be really neat to put the TV on an angle, and I'm using this really beautiful end table that came with the Sims 21st birthday update, and I believe this was designed by Peacemaker, I hope. I hope that is who designed it. If not, I will correct it in a subtitle. But yeah, just finishing up the living room here, just adding some really pretty plants, and I love this view. Oh my gosh, the lighting that just comes through these windows. I am absolutely obsessed with these Moschino window, or the windows that come from the Moschino stuff pack. I think they're so beautiful, and yeah, if I could use them in every single build, I probably would, but you guys would probably get tired of seeing them. So yeah, that's just about it for the living room. And then we are going to head on over to the downstairs bathroom. So for this bathroom, I did just imagine it as like a guest bathroom. So it does just have a toilet and a sink. There's definitely room to add a shower if you wanted to. You could probably even use the shower tub combo, and I don't know if you'd want to do that because you would probably have to block the window in order for everything to be functional if you were going to use the shower tub combo. So if you did want to add a shower, probably best just to use these standalone showers. And then over here, just using this shelf from Eco Lifestyle and cluttering it up with some nice decorative objects. And then that'll be about it. So there is another bathroom upstairs, but I do not show that one on camera. It's basically the same as the downstairs bathroom, except it does have a shower, and I was able to fit a washer and dryer as well. So it was a little bigger. It had some more space, and I wanted to fit those items in case you guys like using those items. Well, I mean, obviously you need a shower, but if you like to do or have laundry gameplay, I don't know what I'm trying to say. If you like to have the washer and dryer and that aspect of gameplay in your Sims houses, I did fit that in there. If not, you can easily delete it. Or if you don't have the Laundry Day stuff pack, it's definitely not necessary. And so over here, this is the bedroom that I imagine to be for the Sim who is a little bit more like on the professional side. and by that I mean she's a little bit more serious about her career. And so I feel like her room is maybe a bit more mature looking. And like I said, I imagined her to just be really into like nature and books, of course, and crafting. So I do include some items from the Nifty Knitting Stuff Pack. And the little knitting bag so she can do her knitting. And then, yeah, just adding some decorations over here onto the wall. And then I'll be cluttering up the dresser a little bit, and that's about it. And so you might have noticed I added these walk-in closets, which are completely unnecessary in game, but it was, if I had used the closets that came with the Get Together expansion pack, I would have only been able to use a closet for one of the rooms, and I wanted it to be fair, which is so silly. It's obviously the Sims don't care, but I wanted them to both have a closet. So I just made those little makeshift walk-in closets, which actually I think are pretty cute. And then I did just put the laundry hampers in there. So, I mean, they are a little bit useful. And yeah, I just thought it was a little cool design aspect. And then so over here is going to be the Sim who wants to be a vet, or maybe she did go to school to study to become a veterinarian, and now she's working on her career. And so she really loves animals. She really loves reading as well. And so her room is just decked out with lots of books, lots of animal decorations and posters and things like that. It's pretty simple. The rooms were I felt like they were a little small. So I didn't want to clutter them up too much and make them feel too cramped. And I did want to keep with a more modern and simplistic sort of design aesthetic, as I said before. So yeah, that's basically it for the bedroom. And then we'll just be adding a couple of rugs to spice things up a little bit. And that's about it. And then we're just going to move on to the hallway out here, which is very simple. I didn't put too much decoration. I didn't feel like they would spend too much time up here, but of course just going to add a shelf to put some books, or not a shelf, but like a little, I always forget what this is called, so I'm just going to call it a end table, but it is not an end table, so forgive me, I am having a total brain lapse right there. But yeah, just working on this little patio here. I don't put too much, just a couple of chairs for them to sit in and read if they want to. And then over here, I realized there wasn't a door to get to this balcony, which is fine. I figured it can just be more for like style and looks more than anything, because they do have this little terrace down here, or this patio that they can use for barbecuing and sitting and relaxing and having coffee, or if they want to read books outside. So just going to be adding a few more plants and decorations out here, and then that'll be just about it for this build. So yeah, we're just about coming up on screenshots here. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll be back with another video for you very soon. Bye!